Coach, thank you much. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Detroit Lions and the Los Angeles Rams. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now the Rams are going to halt things as they want a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
All right, here we go. 3-19! 3-19!
They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. They'll run it now out of the gun. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
They'll run it here with Piron. Tackle was made by Joel Iyiegbuniwe.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Chris Conley, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion.
Back 99 Philly, here we go. Detroit! Detroit!
They'll drop the throw. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And early on, they're picking up right where they left off last week.
And I know a lot of coaches say each game is its own. You don't really have carryover. This feels like carryover. So much confidence from the previous game that they're using to their advantage now.
So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 43. And now some motion before the snap. And this will be our first penalty of the night's proceedings. A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. They'll look to throw again. Incomplete.
Used to have a coaches tell us all the time, those scouting reports aren't just to use up paper, guys. Well, nowadays, we're watching a computer screen, right? They scouted this team very well. Know that they like to use the running backs in the passing game. They covered that play successfully.
The seventh play now of this opening drive. This is third and long, though. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 29, and his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. They were ball hawks last week. They had a trio of interceptions on defense. In the first drive, they pick up right where they left off.
They're creating quite a reputation for themselves, aren't they? And sometimes what happens is when they know that the defense can take the ball away, as they saw the previous week, now you try too hard to not let them take it away, and you force yourself into errors. They've intimidated them in a sense and got the ball from them.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And his first pass is incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10.
Hey. Watch it now, Barney.
Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I, he has the ability to take over a game. So what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. On fourth down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a two-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Now Pirine. And he stopped immediately there. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
What an advantage having a lead guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
Now a carry for Pirine. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Well, that was big right there, because they're in the bottom 5 in the league in converting on 3rd down. They needed that pickup in a big way.
There were 2 things they said they wanted to win in this game. One, the turnover battle, and the second, 3rd down conversions. So they got one there. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. First carry for James Conner. He takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Now whistles and a flag down. Looked like one of the Lions linemen might have moved. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long.
Back to that penalty. Here we go.
After the penalty, here's Freeman. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards, but also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
On the heels of that good carry by Devontae Freeman, here's 1st and 10. Freeman again, a 1st down carry. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, where that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4. Now it's Conner. Even with the good footwork, he'll be stopped just inside the 35. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
The Lions on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. On play action, they'll throw. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing. Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete.
And his kick is absolutely perfect. And the Lions are going to take a 3-0 lead. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Yeah, and that was a safety that came through and made the play. But there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker. And we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Green 39! Green 39! Hot! Hot!
And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run, because we envision them in offenses catch the ball. How much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. That's complete to the Memphis man, Anthony Miller. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
Looking to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect it. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And the Lions are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Watch it now, Barney, Barney!
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Caught here by Conley. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another 1st.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Two minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to the City of Angels after this timeout. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
The name of the game is always on defense, put pressure on the quarterback. And that's exactly what they've done today. It looks like they've got him a little bit rattled. That would have been the 2nd interception in the first half.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Finding some room at midfield. He's got the hook up with Conley. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
No, Jack, Patriot!
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained. So they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10.
All right, here we go. Green, 39. Green, 39. All right, now, Lucky 56. Lucky 56. Hot.
Again, he'll drop to throw. They'll roll him out right. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
On 3rd down, that's Freeman. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
Now, that was a big-time play by the defense. They as well knew where the 1st down line was, and they didn't let them get anywhere near it.
Detroit! Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now a shotgun snap as they look to throw. And able to find Conley. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. Well, they deemed it 4-down territory, and they got 4 yards to pick up the 1st. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Back to throw. Flush to his right. On the run, he'll let it go deep, right? And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. So retract the yardage and retract the touchdown.
And retract the chunk play. Big strike there to get the touchdown. Now they've got to take it back and see if they've got another one still in their arsenal.
So the illegal forward pass also costs him a down, and now it's 2nd and long.
Set. 3-19.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
The Lions on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 14.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll set up a throw. The Cowboys got it over the middle. And he'll go down at the 28. Now on 4th and inches, they're going to want to talk this over. We get a timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. They converted once earlier in this drive, but they'll roll the dice here again on 4th down. They'll try and sneak it here. That was signaling a timeout call as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play.
Watch him now, Barney, Barney. Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Letting one go deep for the end zone. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. So 3 seconds here remain in the half on as the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. He made his first attempt, this from 45. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. So a couple of field goals, that's all we've been able to muster through 2 quarters of play. 6-0 is our count at the break. This is taken at his 4. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. The Rams offense now making their way out to take over. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that.
This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards.
A good run there off right tackle in an old school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009, 2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
3-19.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
All right, 56. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll set up to throw. A dump off to Elliott. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it's a second down.
Watch it now, Barney. Barney.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
I'm still an old-school football guy, and anytime you see a big-time running play, that fires me up. And if I'm on offense right now, in the position they're in now, inside the 10-yard line, I think after the way they've run it, they set themselves up for a good play-action pass opportunity right here.
No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
It's second and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. He'll drop to throw. This will be caught at about the 6. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's third and goal.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that will bring up an interesting decision here on 4th and goal. And no hesitation about this decision here. Confidently, they're going to go for this. 4th and goal from the 3. Running with Elliott. And he takes it across for a Rams touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Rams have tied the game with the extra point to come. Now the extra point. Extra point splits the uprights, and they take the lead here at 7-6. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
They'll run with Freeman here to begin the drive. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
No. Check. Patriot.
Now back to throw. And this is incomplete. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Back to throw here. Hard throw, incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it.
And a fake here. Direct snap to the other man. And running with power here. A big breakdown defense. There on the fake punt turns into a huge play and a 1st down. So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10, right at the 40. And now a 10th carry for Freeman. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Here's Pirine. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down, keep the sticks moving.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
Here's Freeman. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. He lost 6 there on the 1st down play. Well, that play was doomed right from the start.
They just about ran into every
They'll look to throw here. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
The Lions on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12. He'll look to throw. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 63 yards receiving for him now, and that last catch good enough for a 1st down. Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. It's 1st and 10 from the 12.
Barney. Here we go now. 3-19.
They're going to look to throw. Caught. Safarian Jenkins, right side. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately, because if you let that big guy get a head of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on 1st down.
All right, now, look at this.
They'll drop to throw. Swings it out to the flat for Freeman. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Devontae Freeman with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Lions have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, nice catch. Nice catch. Touchdown, nice catch, offense. Good job, offense.
So now here come the Lions up to go for 2. They'll try and run with Freeman. And he will get into the end zone for the 2 points. And that helps. That gives him a 7-point lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And the Rams getting set to go now. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense getting the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
A handoff left, Elliott. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Gone!
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
The Rams on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 7. They'll look to throw. Over the middle, it's Thomas. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That one will go down as 33 yards on the 3rd down conversion. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take it down to the 30-yard line. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Detroit.
He'll look to throw. And this one complete to Will Fuller. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a 1st down there. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Give him 7 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this.
From
the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Fuller. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up first and goal. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on first and goal. Now Elliott. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up second and goal.
I know a lot of people won't like the draw called in that situation, but every now and then that pops big. In this case, it didn't happen.
Second and goal from inside the 5. Going to get it running right. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here. You got to think this is likely 4-down territory anyway, but they'll try to punch it in now on third and goal.
Detroit! Detroit!
Back to throw. And he's got it. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. And now before this 4th and 2 play comes to fruition, they're going to think about it and call a timeout, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go in the game. Likely the play of the game here, trailing in the final quarter and going for it on 4th and goal.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
They'll run it with Elliott. And yes, he's into the end zone. So they get the late score they needed. And now the extra point can tie this thing up in the final minute. So getting the big touchdown they needed late in the 4th. Now what do? You conservative and just tie it up?
No, I think you put your practice into game situation. Go as fast as possible. You already have your play call ready to go. Go for 2 and decide it right now.
A very important extra point there, up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild 4th quarter. This is taken at his 4. Now a hit and a loose football. And now the Rams have got it going the other way. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. And careless with a football there on the kick return.
And one thing I love about going to practices is trying to get around coaches and hear their catchphrases and what they really emphasize. We haven't been to a single one yet this year where a guy fielding a kick, you don't hear, tuck it away, tuck it away, tuck it away. And this time, they turned it over.
Ball security eluded him.
Now let's go! Blue 90! Blue 90!
A first down carried by Elliott. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. As they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the 4th. After the loss to start out, here's second and 11.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They go to Elliott again. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
I think we saw the strategy there, how they moved it to the left hash so they could line things up for them to kick the field goal.
So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. And with inside of 10 seconds, 8 to be precise, we get whistles and a timeout on the field. And now here comes their final timeout as they take it with 8 ticks remaining. And now it all rests on the right foot of their kicker. And his kick is indeed good. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. He hasn't missed a kick all year. Why would he start now?
That's a great question, isn't it? Well, maybe because that was the most nerve-wracking kick he had to attempt all year, but he knocked it through just like it was an easy chip shot.
So here come the Lions now. Look at the clock. Everyone knows the situation. Probably time here for one final play.
And we know what that play is going to be. It's got to be some sort of Hail Mary, throwing it towards the end zone and hoping someone can catch it or catch it off of a tip. Think back to 2015. Didn't we see Green Bay pull that off twice in the season? Once in the regular season, once in the playoffs. So stranger things have happened. It'd be interesting to see what the defensive strategy is about who they put on the field to try and knock that ball away.
He's going to let it fly. And a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Robert Alford. And that is going to seal this victory as time runs out. Well, we were on hand for a fun and entertaining game here. Coming down really to that last play. Great job defensively to get the pick and seal it.
And we know that every play during a game matters. You're never sure which one's going to be one of the key ones. But at the end of the game, when you analyze it, 3, 4, 5 plays are going to be the ones you focus on. And that last play was one of them. The last shot had to take it, and they came up with the interception and sealed their victory.
So for Los Angeles, it's an important win in terms of staying in the postseason race as they move to 6-4. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Minnesota Vikings. Meanwhile, for the Lions, they come back to the pack a bit as their record falls to 7-3. And they'll have a quick turnaround as they're back in action Thursday at noon Eastern for the traditional Thanksgiving Day game in Detroit. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.